Minasan, konnichiwa. Hello everyone, this is Johnny. Johnny desu. Right now I'm at the Double Trade, the San Francisco pure comic book art show that's happening. My main go-tos were Mike Mignola, who you know to be my hero in terms of comics, alongside Kentaro Miyamoto and Mizuki Shigeru. But yeah, Mike Mignola, Joyce Chin, and also Arthur Adams. And then there are other artists there as well. Hellboy no mangaka? No, comic artist. を会うために来たんです。There are lots of people. いっぱい人が集まるから予約します。And then in a little bit I'll be joining them again. It's a small room, but there's so many beautiful comic book artworks there. Okay, so stay tuned.
How do I know?
Mike's right there.
Anybody in line here for Mike Mignola?
That's Mike right there. I came here for him and Arthur and everyone else, but mostly for Mike. And so I'm gonna have to ask them later perhaps if I could take a photo with them and the statue I made for Mike. So yeah, more on that later. This time I wasn't able to buy any of the originals, but I got a lot of stuff signed by my favorite artist, Mike Mignola. So yeah, as I've said before, I'm just so happy that I was born in the same generation as one of my favorite artists, Mike Mignola, of course, and who happens to be a very soulful person as well. So he's not just an artist, but he's a very fine example, role model, and yeah, a really good human being. Right, so I'm so proud to have an artist to look up to that's just as soulful as his main character, Hellboy, and of course Professor Butnome, right? I'm just happy to finally meet Mignola Sensei. So yeah, I think in a little bit, when there are less people over there, I'll go by, go to Sir Mignola's table again and I guess have a photo with him and let him know my thoughts. Hello everyone. So yeah, now I'm going to show you what I got signed by Master Sensei Mike Mignola. So here we go. First one is the Hellboy movie figure. My dad introduced Hellboy to me, and then I found out as well from my grandfather that this was based off of a comic. So I thought it was just a movie, but then yeah, as soon as I found out that there was a comic, I had to explore it, and I remember seeing trailer 2 of Hellboy in a hospital bed. And I was like, oh, when I get better, I'm going to see that movie and absolutely read the comic books. Next up, we have The Art of Hellboy. This one over here. Yeah. I carry this book around like a baby bottle. I'm telling you, like I bring it everywhere I go, because like I really am fascinated by the development of the character. The characters actually the Hellboy comics, and I wanted to eventually someday. One of my ambitions is to be a filmmaker, but I also wanted to be a mangaka at some point. So I guess character design, the best source for character design would be this one. This is my number 1. Okay. And yeah, I actually traversed the rain to get this book, and I remember keeping it in my jacket the whole time. As soon as I got it, yeah, and I got it for a fair price. It wasn't cheap, but it was good. Next we have this one I got on eBay. I was lucky to get it. I don't know who had wanted to sell their sketchbooks. Probably they have the originals, and yeah, now that I think about it, I really wanted to get at least one original from Mike Mignola at time today, but I'm sort of saving money, so there you go. Oh boy, I had this one signed. There's a secret signature inside here, but I'm not gonna show it. Anyways, there's his autograph fixed in the book, and I got it on eBay. Yeah. So I'm really going to treasure this and take care of it, I guess, for all my life. However long that may be. Or short, who knows. And then I also have this one. You guys know this. I take it with me almost all the time for toy photography, whether it's indoors or outdoors. This is my favorite Hellboy action figure. Other than the older one that I had from before, yeah. Because this is Hellboy. This was designed by 1000 Toys. The sculptors at 1000 Toys, and then according to what I've read, Mike Mignola was also involved in creating this figure. So yeah, it's articulated, and he's got the awesome signature on his back right now. I'll really be taking good care of this figure. I probably will have to buy another coat while I keep this on maybe a miniature rack on my shelf, making sure that the autograph doesn't get faded and all that. And last but not least, ta-da! I also carry this around like a baby bottle because I'm trying to study Mike's method in sketching. Fascinated by it. I mean, like, my favorite sketch artists would be Mike Mignola, Kentaro Miura, and Mitsuhiro Arita sensei. Those three people, yeah, I'm fascinated by their pencil and pen work. So yeah, but what makes this the most special, in my opinion, among all of these, is it's also signed by Christine. And for those who don't know, Miss Christine is the wife of Mike Mignola and also his inspiration, and doing all the Hellboy and every other story that Mike Mignola has done. She is, I guess, one of his strongest driving factors in achieving and also upholding his work. So yeah, my encounter with Mike Mignola sensei will be, I was kind of careful with what I wanted to say. So many things, but I had to, I had to gather my thoughts. Even as as Mike Mignola said before in one of his interviews, is, "Oh, never meet your heroes," or was it somebody else who quoted Mike Mignola at the time? I forgot. But anyways, it's the never meet your heroes clause. So I was like, I have a phobia on that. So the very first thing I did was I first went to his table. There was a person that I made friends with on that day as well. I let her go ahead of me. And then, as soon as I got to Mike's table, I knew, I knew at that moment I wasn't gonna be able to talk to him. I knew at that moment we weren't able to have a decent conversation, because if you watch Dragon Ball, there was that Dragon Road right behind me. So many people. So I had to just, I guess, make it quick. Look through his sketches, which I could not afford this time. And I was like, love your work. I was actually gonna say like 1 or 2, 3 sentences saying that when I had leukemia, Hellboy was one of my one of the favorite characters that I enjoyed, other than the anime characters that I so love. He was pretty new too, Hellboy. Yeah, and then they were like, oh, and I was like, okay. I thought to myself, I was like, oh, okay, how do I put this? Maybe I should save it for later. And then I handed sculptures that I made of the young Hellboy and that smaller Hellboy figure, and I guess there was a Baba Yaga and a smaller, younger Hellboy that I put in the box as well, along with the removable, attachable foam cosplay clothes. Right? It was one of those art mannequins that I had to modify. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's young Hellboy over there. I'm going to make it. Yeah, and then I thought to myself, okay, one of these days, if I do meet Mike Mignola, I would love to give him one of those young Hellboy figures. I always thought that if you were gonna do a Hellboy movie, if there was gonna be a Hellboy movie, there has to be a young Hellboy chapter of him growing to become Hellboy. I mean, there has to be this chapter where their father and son relationship needed to be told. So yeah, before you head to Seed of Destruction, which it was quite tragic. It was a very tragic beginning, but then I thought to myself, it had to go that way, and I hope someday that would happen. I mean, if nobody's gonna do it, I probably will, but it would be a totally zero budget, over the years kind of movie. So with maybe puppets, because I wouldn't have any actors. I'd probably just stop motion puppet. Who knows? The first one what I made was too big, you know, the head was too big, so I had to like modify it, and then it was perfect. And it just so happens that Mike Mignola had a show, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna buy some prints and hand this to him. And on that day, I was like, earlier today, I was like, oh, I didn't bring any prints, but luckily I brought my own books and figures. Because like I was thinking, all right, which one did I want signed? This guy, definitely this one. But this guy or this guy? You know, I was thinking, but definitely these two. Mike Mignola got to meet my dad too. So he had his comic signed, and yeah, it was so cool. When my dad met Mike Mignola, I was like, "Hey, finally I get to meet you." Yeah, they were like it was they were gonna do a strong handshake, but my dad like reached his elbow out because he didn't want to like pass anything to Mike, you know. At the same time, we all have to be careful during we were still not out of the pandemic, so. Anyways, my dad was so excited and happy when we got in the car, and I was like, "You have 3 signatures, 3 autographs on your comics, so that's a good one." This was a beautiful day because I got even more inspired and even to achieve my goals, strive hard, improve my talents, and also become more soulful, like more soulful and virtuous, like Hellboy. I mean, like among all characters, among all superheroes that I know of, Hellboy, I'm not putting him on a pedestal, by the way, I'm just telling you the truth. Among all the characters I know of, Hellboy is the only guy that reflects before he takes action. He just wants to get everyone to get by. That's the type of hero, or that's the type of people we have to be to each other. But anyways, maybe I've been saying too much. That's about it. So yeah, I wanted to thank Sir Mike and Ma'am Christine and all the artists, Sir Arthur and Miss Joyce. But again, Sir Mike and Miss Christine, thank you so much. And this is my perfect superhero. This is the perfect role model, comic book hero out there. So yeah, thank you. I hope to buy your art someday.